Oh yeah, what a day. It's January the 2nd and Wayne Rooney's been sacked. We woke up this morning not knowing what was going to happen today, but we had an idea that something was going to happen. So it's been a little bit crazy for us. The project, a lot of stuff coming in and coming out and trying to filter what's true and what isn't. I think we got news this morning. I think we were the first ones actually to get it out on Facebook, which we like. We like doing that. We got it from the Mirror, from Moxley, and Mox got it right. Well done. And eventually, of course, he filtered through, and now Wayne Rooney is an ex-Blues manager. A lot of stuff going around today, and we thought we'd just let you share a bit of the kind of stuff that we get as a group of moderators and admins. Some of us are journalists and bloggers, and we've got a radio presenter, or we've got a vet. So we get a lot of stuff coming in from different people, and we always check sources before we put anything out for definite. But I thought we'd give you a little taster of some of the stuff that we get in and that we've got in at the moment that we haven't checked yet. So we're not going to say this is right, but here's just a few things that we get in. Apparently this morning, when this all happened with Wayne Rooney, there was a bit of an early morning telephone conversation between Rooney and Cook, which went a bit pear-shaped. I think there were a little bit shouting, raised voices, and a bit of disagreement between each other. This continued on their separate journeys into the training ground in their cars by, I don't know, by Bluetooth or something, whatever, I don't know. And it was getting very, very heated. By the time they got to the training ground, I think both blokes were like, blowing a bit of steam out their ears. And there was a big confrontation. Apparently there were witnesses there, people seen it happen, and it all went a little bit wrong. So I'm not quite sure what the outcome of it was. But another bit of information we got as well. So this is the sort of thing then, like you put two and two together and you get four, or you should do. Is that an ambulance was called to the training ground as well this morning. So I don't know, was someone injured? I don't know what's happening. But another little bit of info there that we've got. So we've got two bits of info here. Another thing that comes out of that when you think about it is if there was any kind of altercation and Wayne Rooney was a bit out of order in any way, then, thoughts of gross misconduct coming to our heads. And if someone under contract commits an offence of gross misconduct, then the contracts can literally be thrown away. So just looking on it from I don't know, a couple of different angles there, that could free up money for us to go out and get a manager. On the managerial front, I've heard that we've sounded out Neil Warnock for a short period, for a short stint till the end of the season, with the possibility of it continuing. That wouldn't be impossible for me. The source is quite a strong one, but not 100% going on that yet. A couple of people have mentioned Gary Rowett to me, not as a rumour, but just as a suggestion. That wouldn't work for me, and I don't think it would work for Gary Rowett, and I don't think it would work for Blues fans. I think he left under a bit of a cloud, really. It was a shame how he went, but I don't think Gary would be one, because it's not his brand of football. We want someone who's going to be a little bit more adventurous in their footballing ideas. I've been told as well, and again, I haven't checked the source 100%, but pretty good source. Steve Cooper apparently has been approached and may be available if we've got the money for him. So that thing about Wayne Rooney then becomes a bigger thing, doesn't it? If we don't have to pay Wayne Rooney, then there's a possibility of getting someone in on the back of that. The other way around the Rooney thing would be to continue his contract and pay him his monthly wage and keep it off, so we'd have to pay a big lump sum, and help CFFP. But then we'd have two managers on that gardening leave. We'd have enough bloody ex-managers that we pay to have a football team. We don't want to get into those sort of positions if we can't help it. But I think Steve Cooper would be an absolutely fantastic fit for the Blues. Sort of like the bloke. I think he would get us as well, you know. But I don't honestly really know. A few people have suggested that if John Eustace is still on his gardening leave and still getting paid by the club, that we should bring him back in until at the end of the season at least, because we are paying him. Now, I'm not sure on gardening leave like that if I know that if he were to get another job, he loses that payment. But I'm not sure if we are paying him, if we ask him to come back, if he has to, and if he doesn't, can we then stop paying him? So there's a couple of angles to look at that from, which are quite interesting ones. And I think, you know, I don't know, there'll be a lot of brains clicking around at the Blues today. I've seen a little bit from Fabrizio Romano this morning as well, who often gets involved in. We get quite a bit of stuff off Fabrizio Romano for transfers, not always 100%. He got the Avu transfer right last season. We always try and get out there early with our transfer news, like we did this morning with the Rooney thing. I think we were the first ones out there with it from Moxley, and last summer we were shit hot on the transfers, and we're going to try and do it in January if you know, if we do any business. So we get a bit from Fabrizio Romano, Rob Pleister, and people like that, you know. So we'll be looking at those. But Romano had put the boot in this morning fairly early, and then you know, pretty soon after that followed. And then because Fabrizio Romano is an agent as well, we then get something from Atalanta that they've put in an offer for Jordan James, I think of 4 million. So it's not a great. It's not, obviously it's an opening gambit. As Kim, one of our moderators, said, you know, that you know, 4 million for a regular international, they can bugger off, you know, but they're not going to go straight in with a big offer. So if we could get some money for Jordan James, I'm only saying if, because I don't want everyone to go up in the arms. We don't want to sell the kids, but if we want to source some January players, we have to sell someone. You know, if we were to get 8 million for James, we could probably buy 5 or 6 decent players for that. You know, so just think about it. When I say decent players, you know, I mean players from lower down the leagues that we've scouted, because we should have this scouting thing going on at the moment. You know, so I don't know. The thing about Eustace, just going back to that, you know, I'm not suggesting for a minute that he should come back, but because I know it would upset an awful lot of Blues fans. But the players love him, you know. I mean, I don't know. It's just out there, you know. You know, people are thinking about it. So the Jordan James offer from Atlanta. I also think I heard that Hertha Berlin were after him. So and I think we did some business with Hertha with. You know what? I think it was, just off the top of my head, I should know this. I think it was Lee Buchanan and I don't know, someone else had been at Hertha Berlin. It was Sunic, wasn't it? So you know, there's some contacts there already, so that might be an opportunity for us to upload someone if we want. I don't think Hall is going to be available to sell because he's injured at the moment, and so he's not going to be available. So the only other possibilities to sell will be players that are probably carrying injuries at the moment, but we bought in the summer that would bring decent money in, like Ethan Laird or Buchanan, you know, these sort of players. But it's a bit pointless selling our important players when we're in the position we're in at the moment. We're not in a strong position, so I think we have to like batten down the hatches a little bit. I think Stevie Spooner will take over in the short term. He's done it before. I think Steve would be a good stand-in for the time being, proper Blues boy, you know. And we've just got to wait and see what progresses and what happens. Can't wait to find out about this story from the training ground. If we hear any more on it, it'd be great. By the way, you know, if anyone has any information regarding transfers, any sort of insider stuff that you've got, you can direct message me with that, with a source, and be very, very grateful. It would be really good. on anything that is like going forward. Don't forget our Facebook group, BCFC, the project. You know, nice big thriving group with proper people in it. We have some idiots, we get rid of them, and they don't come back. So that's great. All they do is they direct message me with threats. That's okay. I don't give a fuck. But and also please on the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe, like us, because I keep forgetting to ask you to do that, because we're linking these two things together and we're going to get you so much information through that January transfer window if and when it happens. I promise you, we were shit up on the Facebook page. We didn't have the YouTube page at the time, but we're going to have it this year and I'm going to be on it fast. Okay, listen, exciting day. I think all of us are sort of relieved in a way, whether you loved Wayne or you didn't. I think we're all relieved in a way that it's happened, because it wasn't good for him, it wasn't good for the club, and now we can move on, almost like a fresh start, isn't it? It's almost like being August again. You know, a fresh start. Hopefully the players will feel better about things, and let's hope the fans now can really get together with the club properly now. We haven't had the opportunity yet, so let's do it. All right, guys, have a great day. All right, look after yourselves. Keep right on. Up the Blues.